award is dispassionate about your work ethic. The award is simple. Who turned up for England in a bigger way? Who was that man in key moments for the nation? And
Jude Bellingham.
It was Palmer all along.
He was carrying the team. Knockout stages or carrying the team. Round of 16.
Why was he carrying the team?
Because he had the work. He was not playing 15 minutes of football.
Because they were playing in full 90 minutes, and this guy was sidelined.
Now let's get it started.
Play ball!
Cole Palmer won the England Men's Footballer of the Year. Now, the question is, did he deserve to win it? Because everybody was saying that they were expecting Jude to win it because what Jude did with Real Madrid and probably with England in the Euros, everybody was expecting Jude to win it, but they gave it to Palmer. Okay, guys, if you look at that, it's a little bit controversial, but if you look at the both stats, what both of them did for their club and country last season, who do you think deserves this award?
Okay, for me, I think Cole Palmer has deserved this award. Now, there are arguments to the difference, but I feel Cole Palmer deserves this award. I want you to mention any player in Europe last season that was a talisman for his team in English Premier League apart from Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer had a fantastic first season for Chelsea. He moved from Man City to Chelsea, and then he's had a fantastic season. He's been involved in more goals for the side. He's created chances. He scored goals for fun. He scored hat-tricks. He's bagged a lot of records in the Premier League. And then he crosses over to the English national side for maybe his first time as a mainstay player in the first 11. And he was able to get record goals in the build-up to the Euros this year. And then in the Euros this year, he was benched all throughout Euros. He only made a couple of subs into the match, but when he came on, he created that assist in the quarterfinals, and then that got them the winning goal. And then in the semi-finals, he scored the goal that took them to the final. So what more are we looking for in a player that should be crowned the best player for the English national team?
So what do you make of that award? Do you think that because
is it the best? The award was England best player
yes,
of the year. And you look at the list of players that played under the shirt for England. The list of the 36 players that played both in the friendly game, because they always swapping shirts. And the name that eludes you, said it was scoring goals. And you said across all the top 5 leagues in Europe, you said English Premier League. Across the top 5 leagues in Europe, you have a Jude Bellingham.
You even have a Kane from Bayern.
You have a Harry Kane scoring hat-tricks for fun in Bundesliga.
Okay, let's leave him because Kane didn't
how many of those goals were impact goals for England?
He didn't win any trophy.
Let's take Jude. Let's take Harry out of the equation because he didn't win any trophy. Let's now bring Jude into the equation. You said Cole Palmer was scoring goals for fun.
Yes.
He has 22 goals and 17 assists. Jude Bellingham, on the other hand, that's for Chelsea. Cole Palmer. Jude Bellingham, on the other hand, has 26 goals and 17 assists, making him the highest assister.
He's not the highest because Cole Palmer is on 27 goals and 15 assists for last season.
John,
27 goals, 15 assists.
27
and
goals.
then even in the Euros too, he scored again too. So I don't know what else you want to count. I'm talking about the leagues
now. For Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham has 26 goals, 17 assists, which means a total more higher than that of Cole Palmer, and the highest assister in the La Liga all through last season. Now, this is the player that they took the award from and gave it to Cole Palmer just for one season wonder. No, if they're going to start the beginning of this season as it is, because you still mentioned the fact that he went on to score goals in the Euros or create chances in the Euros as a sub. Forgetting that the only creative mind in that was only taking the risk, the only player that was taking the risk for the whole of 90 minutes in the English side was Jude Bellingham.
You can't say it was only Jude Bellingham taking risk for England in 90 minutes. I
saw a game where everybody was passing sideways, trying to find the pass, trying to get the ball back to Declan Rice, back to Kobe Mainoo, move it forward and bring it back again, playing safe so they don't get themselves injured. Jude was driving through defenders.
And what was his production for driving through defenders? Because at the end of the day, what's the production like?
There are passes he made to Harry Kane that Harry Kane didn't bury. Now, you take away the fact that I saw a reason where they said Rashford would have been the highest assist, would have had the highest assist so far this season if other player that scored the goals he made, because I saw him give 3 passes to Zexki none of them were buried. 2 to Garnacho, none of them against Fulham, none of them were buried. So for Jude Bellingham case now, the passes he gave to Harry Kane that Harry Kane didn't bury. The passes he gave to Ivan Toney didn't bury. Until Ivan Toney buried the one that Kopama gave him in the quarterfinals. That's the one you're talking about, the assist now.
Yes.
Jude Bellingham was also remember that Jude Bellingham was also in the mix to the build-up of that goal.
Jude Bellingham started that match. How far? How market? At the end of the day, that game would have gone a totally different route if they hadn't brought in. And I remember in the Euros, I was screaming it here that they should play this man. He came on, he got that assist, got them into the semis, came into the semis, got that goal, got them into the finals. What more are you looking for?
Particular game, Jude scored an acrobatic to take them to the final.
In the round of 16. Round of 16, Jude scored. In the quarterfinals, he scored. He's been scoring goals for fun because when he creates the chance for Harry Kane is nowhere. Harry Kane is always dropping deep into midfield. And you know, we had that discussion here, and we said Harry Kane is Harry Kane. You can't stop him from dropping deep. That is who Harry Kane is. But when he drops deep, there's a vacuum open in front. Now it's yet to be seen who enters into that vacuum and occupies that space. And Jude is this type of player that spots his run, knows how to run in between defenders and bury chances. If he's giving Harry Kane the chance to score, Harry Kane is not scoring those chances. And he goes into the position and scores the goal. You can't blame him for not having the assist.
Okay, if you look at both,
even in the Kopama situation where Kopama created the chance or where Kopama had an assist, he was the key man in the build-up play. If you look at it now, Kopama, just like when I was telling people about Ika Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, Ika creates more chances, but Kevin has more assists. Jude created the chance, Kopama had the assist. So you can't take away the credit for Jude in that game. I'm just saying he's the right person to give the award to. But since the media bias has,
I disagree.
Let me. Do you think that it is the Premier League bias? But if you look at the last 2 times in Saka, at that point, Harry Kane was doing what Harry Kane was doing, but they actually gave it to Saka. But now they're giving it to Palmer. Is it because that Palmer plays in the Premier League and probably everybody watches the Premier League?
It's not about the Premier League. It's not about the Real Madrid,
and he won the La Liga.
When Saka
he
won the Champions League.
Irrespective.
This is what we say. Irrespective.
Yes,
that he is carrying Chelsea.
Palmer won the Premier League with Man City before he came to Chelsea. How far did he win it that year? He didn't win it.
From the bench.
It's not incumbent.
You won the Premier League.
It's not incumbent upon him.
That's from the bench. You won
the. Do you know? Okay, wait. I have this. Do you know Gerard Piqué won the Champions League? I think was it the Champions League or the Premier League before leaving for Barcelona? Was he in the team? He was playing off the bench. So you can't say he was a key figure.
Baba,
in Man United
is that title in his name? Yes or no?
It will be in his name.
Thank you. Leave that one. Say you win Champions League.
See, now
your pocket team day. Now impact.
Now your impact when your team go win the trophy. Now we calculate.
This award is actually for last season. It's every year.
It's not for 2 seasons ago.
I'm not talking about 2 years ago.
I'm just saying that winning a title in last season,
for your
winning a trophy with a club alone is not the yardstick, because let's call it what it is. When Saka won those 2 titles, Arsenal did not win any trophies those years.
Yes.
But they gave him that award because the man was a big man in big moments for England. He won critical games for England just by the goals he scored and the impact he had in games. He was a big man for England. If you go back and check through history, there are only about 3 players that have won that award back to back. Harry Kane won it back to back. Wayne Rooney won it back to back. Saka has won it back to back. Go back and look at those records. They all came up big for England. So you've won La Liga Player of the Year, fine and good. You've won La Liga, fine and good. You've won Champions League, fine and good. But in the shirt, name me one person from the build-up from qualifiers to the Euros. Name me one person that's had a bigger impact for them going forward than Palmer.
Come on now, I just mentioned his name here now. Even in the Euros, he scored how many goals he scored. And you're still telling me, name me one. The name is there.
If you are going by goals, chances Palmer has scored him. If you are going by assists,
for the English Palmer has only 1 or 2 goals.
Palmer and Jude match each other on assist record, and Palmer has scored Jude.
He has 15, he has 17.
Did you count the assist in the Euros?
I'm counting the assist in the league.
I'm telling you what it is.
Now, if you count the assist in the Euros,
goals, Palmer outscores Jude.
If you count the assist
yes
in the Euros,
no? Did he not outscore Jude? Yes or no?
In the Euros,
in the league, yes or no?
He has just 1 goal more than Jude.
He has scored
He
the
has
simple
just
and
one
short.
goal more than
Whether
this.
it's one
But
goal
this
or
guy
two
is
goals,
we did not
he
count-
has
we did not
scored
count- we did not count the
When we
Champions
now
League,
come
though.
to assists too, they are on the same. They
They are not on the
level.
same. You said 15 to 17. You get? If you did not count Champions League, we did not count Champions League. We did not count the Copa del Rey and all of that. We only counted La Liga. As you're counting Chelsea Premier League, or counting La Liga also. You understand? These are two players. I won't separate them that this, but I saw someone that has work ethics. He can defend, he can control the midfield, he can control the tempo of the game, he can attack. This is something Jude can do. He can do all-round work for a team. If look at the last time Real Madrid were missing Camavinga, he was playing a deeper role. He and Valverde. You get
For England,
now, Tchouaméni is available.
irrespective of everything Jude has done for Spain, Palmer has had more impact and more impact
on,
for them in the Euros and in the qualifiers. Simple and short. Play the man 90 minutes and let's see results. Pari passu. Somebody is playing from bench. Somebody is playing from bench, hustling for minutes, and you're telling me
look at
this person is when they were give him the same 90 minutes. Let's see impact. How far?
When England was tinkering with tactics with Jude Bellingham, what's it called, Declan Rice and Trent, Jude was busy doing the work for defensive midfield and attacking midfield at the same time because Gallagher was MIA. Trent was MIA. All of us there, we complain about him. But who were we seeing taking the risk, coming to defend, help Declan Rice in the midfield? It was still the same Jude. So he had a different level of workload on him. And when Kopama came in, he didn't come in as, okay, I'm coming to play in the midfield. He came in and play in an attacking position. That is the mistake John is making now. You take out a midfielder, you're comparing a midfielder who has these numbers to an attacker who has these numbers. You get, these are the same.
But the award is not being given to whether you're a midfielder or you're an attacker. That's not why the award is given. That's not why the award is given. And then secondly, say you are taking on more role in the club. Say you are coming to defense, going forward, going backward, doing everything. That is not the yardstick for being given the award. The award is dispassionate about your work ethic. The award is simple. Who turned up for England in a bigger way? Who was that man in key moments for the nation? And it was Bellingham. It was Palmer all along.
He was carrying the team. Knockout stages, he was carrying the team. Round of 16.
Why was he carrying the team?
Because he had the work.
Why was he carrying the team?
He was not playing 15 minutes of
football. Because they were playing in full 90 minutes. And this guy was sidelined.
90 minutes. And he was the only creative player.
And when he couldn't deliver, Palmer came on and delivered for the nation. Simple and short.
Just one game. No slap me for eye, I beg.
Simple and short. Palmer came in and delivered for the nation.
Just one game that you're talking about. We have the numbers here.
It's not about one game, man.
This is the same John that say the numbers speaks for itself. The input. We have the numbers. The input speaks for itself. The result is just bias.
Okay, if you
say the way it is.
The result is not biased.
I think if you look at this whole Palmer and Jude thing, what I'm actually saying is that Jude started the Euros from beginning to end. Even though whenever Palmer is introduced, he got an impact, but I feel that somebody.
It's not Palmer's fault that he was started from the bench. It's not his fault. It's the manager's fault. We saw England clearly bench Palmer, even when things were not going the way they should have gone. Palmer should have been starting, even though a lot of people will not believe, but Palmer should have been starting. It took only when games where this man Jude is struggling, games where he is out of legs and he needs to rest, that's when they bring Palmer on, and Baba comes in and change the game around. Give the man time, no time for the man.
Why do you think the team has substitute? At this point, I've lost my voice. You can shout Palmer all you want. You can rave Palmer all you want. He's a Man City Academy graduate. You always sing his praises. Why do you think I've lost my voice now? Jude, for Dortmund, you saw what he did. He had a striker up front in the person of Haaland. But you saw what he did from midfield. He still scores goals to compete with Haaland for the golden ball. You understand? He still creates chances for Haaland to score more goals. This is what he did for Dortmund. When Palmer was his age and was playing in Man City, what did he do? He was on the bench. He didn't know how to fight for his place. Jude left where he left. I think Middlesbrough went to Dortmund to fight for more regularity and more experience.
Birmingham City.
They are not giving an award based on who fought for team.
So he left Birmingham City.
That's not what the award is for.
I was thinking of his younger brother Joby. Left Birmingham City to go. There were other top teams in England looking for him at the time. There was Man City looking for him at the time. There was Man United looking for him at the time. But he said no. He needed to get exposure, and he went to Germany. What happened? He went to gain exposure in Germany. He was playing alongside one of the best strikers in Europe at the time. Erling Haaland. But what happened? He was still having the nerve to compete for goals against Haaland. He was still having the competence of supplying Haaland for more goals.
All these are not categories
Now
for giving the award.
his first season in Real Madrid. You felt his impact.
Okay.
You felt his impact in the England
Same
shirt.
thing for Palmer in his first season for Chelsea too.
In the England shirt, you felt his impact. Don't tell me Jude Bellingham. He was playing 90 minutes. He was scoring important
Why
goals
wasn't
to
he
win
giving the
games.
award when he was at Dortmund? Let's go there.
See, his record for Dortmund doesn't really speak loud.
Let's
You
go there.
understand? His record for Dortmund doesn't really speak loud of it. But when you say England player of the month, England player of the year, England men player of the year, you look at the numbers they put out. At the time he was playing for Dortmund, Saka had more ratings than he did. So I won't, even the other person, what's it called? Harry Kane had more ratings than he did because Harry Kane was playing in Tottenham. Harry Kane was bagging more goals. Jude was just only making assists and scoring fewer goals and scoring goals, but not worthy goals to put him in the ranking. So you can't take away the fact that when person, it's just like when you're putting a list for Ballon d'Or and you put up the top 10. When person better pass you and you finish for number 8, no saying that you deserve today because people ahead of you are somewhat better than you are. For this one now, when there's a bias in the last part, because it was from last 5, the last 5 involved Harry Kane and the rest of some other players, there was only Watkins in this number as well. So why did the list now drop and the Watkins is not in the final 3? Why is Harry Kane not in the final 3?
Okay, well, if you look at this whole thing, Palmer and Jude, it's been busting since yesterday that other English fans and other Premier League fans, they are saying that probably Jude deserves it. Some are saying Palmer, especially Chelsea fans are saying Palmer deserves it. They have their different opinions, but finally, before we conclude this Palmer versus Jude's matter, how do you think that English is going to fit in all this players? Because now, Jude is in quotes a big player. Palmer is in quotes a big player now. At Chelsea, they have the right, the mind. Do you think that how can he combine these 3 players, all these big players in this English squad? What do you think that? Who do you think that he's going to bench or he's going to start? Just with 1 minute.
I said a very simple thing during the Euros, and everybody here shouted, blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, when John go mature, they move Jude go insist, play him alongside Menu, play Palmer for that position.
Alongside Rice too.
Alongside Rice, then play somebody up in that point. Simple and short. That's the best format for England.
What do you think?
Play Jude alongside Rice, play Palmer up front.
For that same match is where they see Palmer for that midfield. Forget the Saka no dey there. They come out and drop him for bench too.
Yeah, I think they moved into a wing back or something.
They move Saka go down, move Palmer go front, by the left, by the right.
What do you think is the best combination for their midfield?
The best combination is when you have squad depth, some players go the bench.
Who do you think will
front first? The first 3 will go start. You understand? Now Jude, number 1, he's supposed to start. You're not supposed to even think of putting him on the bench. Then you know when I talk on that day, everybody like, no, so you're out of your mind. Anthony, supposedly the left, Saka the right, Harry Kane. If you not go fit score goal, if you not retire, come out and put any other person there.
Okay, Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon's now. I don't need to call him full name. Now my picking name be my boy. Anthony Gordon on the left.
I'm talking about the midfield.
No, I'm talking about the full front 6.
Talk about midfield, or leave front.
Okay, the midfield is where the problem is now. Jude go there now, number 1. Then this person go there. Rice go there. My boy. Then my picking go come there. Coco Melo. He go there. Then when you want to do something, see now about starting. Then when the game they go as they go, you forget say they get this guy they bring from Leo come back. Angel Gomez.
He go there.
If person like that,
you are saying that Palmer will stay at the bench.
He go there bench.
If person like
that, they boss Leon. Ligon go there bench. Why Palmer no go there bench?
Who be?
Now he provide the goal against Real Madrid. Now he provide the goal.
Who be Angel Gomez?
Now he provide the goal where they use score against Real Madrid.
Go and sit down. You don't know what you're saying. I beg.
Angel Gomez dey bench. See on the bench. I'm just saying. If you see a starting lineup, you get what people don't understand. If you see starting lineup and you see bench, your mind go there.
Story for the gods. For me, you can't stand Meno and Rice together in that midfield. You can't start
those. You're forgetting Foden because you see,
you can't start those.
Foden is the other person, but he can play from the left.
Yeah, he can play from
the left. So you can put him with Gordon to fight for that. But that's why I said I want to start from the front 6.
I'm not interested in the midfield because Palmer now plays from the midfield.
Palmer plays on midfield and he plays from the right.
And in quote, he plays in quote the attacking part of the midfield, which is where Jude plays. That's the problem. So you
and that's the same place Angel Gomez plays.
You say Jude will start for you.
Jude is going to start definitely.
See, for me, Jude starts in
All of them
the midfield, but not in that 10. Jude will start alongside Rice and Palmer
then
up front.
Who will be your holding midfielder?
I think
we know Rice is not a holding midfielder. We all know that.
We all know that Jude plays as that too. So let's not go there.
That Rice build-up play is poor.
Jude plays as that too. So let's not go there.
Midfielder and your holding midfielder at the same time.
It's not about him being attacking. Palmer is being the attacking midfielder.
How many tackles?
Palmer is the attacking handle up front there. He's the one that's going to get that role. Play Jude and Rice alongside each other. Let them figure it out.
Let them figure it out. Tomorrow we have to see.
Tomorrow we have to see what the English coach is going to be doing, how he's going to set up. Palmer is there, Jude is there, and Rice is there. Probably Rice have to start because he is in quotes the more defensive in all of them. So probably start. Let me see how they are going to combine that midfield tomorrow. Okay, the problem here is that Palmer won the England Player of the Year, and everybody was saying it should be Jude because of what he did with Real Madrid and what he did in Euros. But at the end of the day, they gave it to Palmer. Everybody has their own opinions and their own suggestions, but this year Palmer winning it. Let's see. Okay, next time probably let's say Jude might win it, they might consolate and give him next year. But let's see what happens with England, with Palmer, Jude, and how they're going to set up and who is going to be winning the English Player of the Year next season.